Alright guys, so every week I have done my blog posts. Writing, hiding behind the screen, never including photos of myself or even words recorded by me, just typed out. And since we've been transitioning over to the audio and visual part of sports information, I thought that I would take a crack at doing a vlog this week. While it isn't exactly the same as podcasting, I thought that it would be interesting to give it a try before we dive into those podcast assignments for the week. So something that I found really interesting was how all the material really dove into podcasting and even TV and radio work, and how it can be set apart from print. I've worked primarily with print a lot throughout my position at VCSU at the Sports Information Department, so I don't have as much experience with on-air, live, recorded presence, so to speak. And so I really liked the material this week in those terms. And one quote that really caught my ear in the lecture was when Kyle said that an on-air talent must engage and entertain the audience. This was something that I really liked because when you're listening to someone talk, whether it's in a real conversation or on a podcast, on the radio, in a television show, it's so easy to just be like, oh, notification on my Apple Watch, or oh, my phone's going off, or oh, look, there's a squirrel climbing up a tree, or jumping out of the trash can if you're on campus. And I think that it's really important to make sure that you're still engaging your audience. So for example, I could just out of nowhere be like, hey, what's your favorite kind of sandwich? And then you'd be like, whoa. Out of nowhere, just have to answer a question, or my tone of voice changed. There are a lot of ways to keep things interesting. And so if this was a podcast and you couldn't see me, I couldn't do so much movement and facial expressions to capture your attention. But if I was on a podcast, I could change things such as the tone of my voice. I could use some ASMR talk and talk really quiet so you have to listen a little better. And I could also talk really loud like this, so then I might catch your attention a little more. But that's kind of annoying. So I'm going to stick to my regular voice. I also looked into the Rockwater article, and there was a quote that I really thought was interesting and I wanted to share with you guys. So according to Rockwater, rapid and lean production processes come out from podcasts, and it results in lower time commitment and recording flexibility relative to linear and even social and digital video. More premium sports formats like interviews and multi-personality programs require significantly less production time as a podcast, meaning current athletes can now participate in and even build media brands without disrupting their day-to-day routine. The article goes on to talk about how athletes used to have to wait until they retired to start their broadcasting careers, but now they can start their own podcast from their hotel room as they're traveling, or they can do a live social media video on the bus or in the locker room. And everything is just at our fingertips now. We can broadcast and share information just like that. But looking on into the article, there were a few other things that were considered to be more beneficial. So looking at podcasts, they are also unfiltered and unregulated, unlike television. So people are more free to speak their opinions, speak however they want. And it's a great companion for listening and watching shows. So if you're watching a game and you don't like the announcer, you can put on your same live podcast at the same time and listen to who you prefer announcing it. And the listener intimacy is also much better because you can really connect with your listener. So just like it mentioned in the video that was shared in the lecture, we are wanting to be friends with our listeners, not just an audience. And then also, of course, it helps with on-the-go listening and multitasking availability. So You can listen to it in your car, you can pop in your headphones in class if you've got long hair like me, or you can listen to it in the shower as you go to bed while you're cooking dinner. The opportunities are endless. But I've been rambling on for 5 minutes about all of the great benefits of podcasts, and I have finally taken the opportunity to broadcast myself for you guys for this class. So don't judge my video too harshly, but definitely feel free to leave comments if you have any questions or suggestions for me. And then my last question that I would like to propose for you is, if you were to start a podcast, what kind of topics would you cover? All right, well, that's it. Thanks, guys.